Time for another video. Remember, if you like these kind of videos, like, sub, silly comment, share, whatever. Helps the channel, helps the algorithm, blah, 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 blah. So a subject I've talked about a few times before, the idea of diversity in the video game community. Just in general, I guess, maybe from a certain sense. Specifically the fighting game. Kind of a social commentary in general, but the fighting game specifically, maybe. And I'm going to come at that from a different few angles here, just because I feel like it's always showing up, right? So, and I want to talk about, with this, keep this idea in your mind, the idea that nowadays there's so much glorifying of like mental illness, maybe just in the world in general. The idea, of course, that, you know, people try to say that the fighting game community isn't diverse enough when it's always ridiculous. I always say the fighting game community has always been incredibly diverse. It's why there's so much hate in it in the first place. And I want to talk about how nowadays, and it's going to sound kind of hypocritical almost in a way, that the individual matters more than the actual accomplishments, actually, when it comes to a lot of this stuff. But because there's such an agenda here, it potentially sounds kind of hypocritical if you just think about it like that. But, you know, so, oh man, I don't even know. I just had to roll my eyes, right? I saw this post recently. I want to talk about empathy as well. Empathy, right? Being empathetic towards someone else or another person, class of people, whatever you want to call it. I saw this post recently where this girl came out, and she came out to everybody. She said, I had realized that I am a non-binary, non-transitioning transgender with dominant female aspects. And apparently people were very empathetic to this girl when I looked at this. I was like, so she was a non-binary, gender fluid, non-transitioning transgender with dominant female aspects. Holy shit, right? This isn't anything that, you know, I don't even think it's transgender people whatsoever. Like I said, I actually know one of the most famous transgender people on the internet. You know what I mean? I have her phone number. Maybe we talked a few weeks ago or something like that. Nothing against anything like that, but I almost, when I read stuff like that and when I see how much empatheticness and outpouring of emotions for someone that said that, I just had to roll my eyes like, what is this? What is a non-binary, non-transitioning transgender, gender fluid, dominant female? And with this amount of likes, this amount of comments and support, I had to think, how can you actually be empathetic to this? Is there really that many people that understand what it's like? Not, you've gone past someone being already non-binary, okay. No, oh, you're gender fluid, okay. You know what I mean? Like, how far are you going? Like, how, the idea is like, how can you actually be empathetic to this, right? Only the nerd community, it feels like to me. I was just like, what is this? I was like, are actual transgender people insulted when they see something like this? And, you know, I think about the stuff that I've been through in the video game community. I'm barely even in it anymore. You know, and when I talk about empathy, the fact that you can see people, and even in the video game community, you see so many absolute Looney Tunes, right? So many actual mental illnesses. And it's always funny, you see a lot of these people that are, obviously there's something mentally wrong with you, try to say that, oh, Clayton is mentally ill when Clayton has been, you know, it's like so insulting to see people try to say that I'm mentally ill when I've actually showed my medical record versus some of these people. Like, dude, there's not even depression. What are you talking about, dude, right? There's actual, hey, Clayton was dying in the hospital. Clayton's health is serious life or death shit, right? And so you think that, I'm putting my leg up, I'm lounging around the house today. It's so crazy to me that you can see people, look at that buttmonger guy, you know what I mean? The guy goes on his stream. He encourages other people for money to make up lies about me that I faked dying in a hospital. Like, how can you be empathetic to that? And I guess you think that when you're talking about glorifying mental illness or glorifying actual people with problems, you're like, well, I guess he's fat, he's ugly, he's 0 and 2 in tournaments. All these fucking guys, you know, so many of these guys that talk shit about me never have done anything in video games whatsoever. And it's like, you're glorifying someone that has never done anything. So I guess you're empathetic towards their cause because you yourself have never done anything. Right? Do you get what I'm getting? You've never done anything. So you somehow are empathetic towards this person who obviously is get caught. Like, I guess it's just so weird to me that you can be more empathetic to, look at these Looney Tunes. This dude, he was talking about how Clayton can't be talked about in Discord or else you're banned because I have a heart problem and it might give me a heart attack and I could die. When people start talking about bullshit, do you not see, like, this dude is a fucking Looney Tune. You might have a heart attack and die. You can't breathe because someone has said my name. What the fuck, dude? And like, look at this one guy. That guy at that combo video contest I saw. You know, he got caught splicing combos together because he couldn't do it at all. And people were defending the guy, which was crazy. And I saw little people calling him little animal names, like, "Oh, don't worry, you're my little Tanuki." Are you empathetic to someone who thinks he's a fucking animal? Who tried to tell you that he had health problems like me? I'm like, dude, I've been dying in the hospital. What the fuck do you have against me? I've had surgery on my hands, dude. My doctors, hey, I got fucking oxygen right now. My doctors are giving me just to try to get my fucking, my body's constantly fucked up. But you know what I mean? Like, I have actual real health problems and I've never done any of this bullshit. And I've actually won tournaments while I was going around sick as fuck. All my hair came out after radiation, all that kind of stuff. And I was still beating you guys just for fun. And this guy goes and he says that, "Oh, I'm sick." Well, that's why I was splicing combos together. And people, well, what is your health illness? He wouldn't say it. But they would call him a little Tanuki. Do you think you're a fucking animal? Like, so what I'm getting at is, how can you, it is so crazy to me that how can you be empathetic to these people? Are there really that many people that think they are an animal? That are a non-transitioning, non-binary, gender fluid, transgender, a non-transitioning transgender with dominant female aspects? You know, I see these kind of things when I read this stuff because it just pops up. This is like such glorifying of like actual mental illness. The fact that people can somehow be empathetic to people that are just absolutely crazy. Do you get what I mean? Like, it's actually so, I feel like if I was transgender, I would be insulted if someone told me they were a non-binary, non-transitioning, transgender fluid. Like, I don't know, I'm not transgender. I would almost think that'd be insulting. I know it's insulting to me when I see other people try to use health excuses against me. It's like, I've been dying. Do you know, it is incredible how sick you can be. You have no fucking idea how sick you can actually be and fucking survive. You know what I mean? It is incredible. I always use great examples. Like, I would say, like, dude, have you ever been so sick that you're in the hospital and it's like, dude, I might never even be, you start thinking crazy shit like, I might never even be able to jack off again, dude. You are so sick. You start thinking the most insane shit, dude, because you just can't fucking move when you're that sick. It's just incredible how sick you can be. And somehow people are more empathetic to people who legitimately have never done anything. And I guess you can be empathetic if you've never done anything. I've never done, like, hey, I've never done anything in a video game. This person has never done anything in a video game, so I support them because somehow they were able to lie about another person and become popular. They encouraged me for money to lie about Clayton. Wow, this guy's my hero. He's fat, he's ugly, he's done nothing, and somehow he has YouTube followers. Yeah, like, you're empathetic towards that, but not the guy who is actually helping everybody and has actually been dying. Do you know what I mean? And, you know, after I've made a lot of these, like, diversity in the video game community stuff and how it's so, and some people didn't like the videos, which is crazy, you know, because I always used, like, say, the black community. That when I was a kid, I didn't realize at first because of, you know, culturally, I guess maybe in a way that, or stereotypically, you know, a lot of times when you think who are going to be the best people at video games, you think of nerds, fat nerds, whatever it might be. Asians, you know, glasses. And then I saw a lot of black dudes beating these people, right? And I realized that, you know what I mean? You can't judge someone just on how they look if they're good at a video game or not. This stereotype is not always true. And often it was actually the nerds and everything who were the worst people at video games. The stereotypical nerds. were the worst people at video games, right? And it really opened up my mind. And, maybe again, you could watch those videos. A lot of these black dudes, hey, I don't want to be part of drugs, violence, whatever is, dominant potentially in my area. Maybe I'm just going to play video games. And so these guys actually got good at the video game instead of just getting good at this false idea of what the video game is, right? And I've had some like black dudes there messaging me even after some of these videos how like, even though this community is supposedly so much more diverse now, and I don't know these dudes. I don't know. Maybe they're gangbangers. I don't fucking know, dude. Let me take what they're telling me at face value, at least, I guess, for the time being, because I do know there's at least some truth to it that this stuff does happen. Like, oh, well, a lot of these guys, they won't even play me. They won't play me because I look too hardcore. And it's like, and it just goes to show you like that I actually get messages from dudes like that tell me it's like, this is true. It's like these guys won't even play me because I'm black. Which is really fucking weird, isn't it? Like, I guess, who knows? Maybe maybe he and these other guys have messed with me. Maybe they're gangbangers. I don't fucking know, right? But I'll take it with a grain of salt because I know a lot of this stuff is true because I know shit like this has happened to me constantly throughout the years because I don't look like a stereotypical nerd. So there's like an agenda, right? And it just goes, well, for a community that supposedly is so diverse, they don't want diversity, dude. The individual actually matters more than the accomplishments, right? And the individual, which is popular now today, that they try to so promote, is glorifying people with actual mental illness, promoting people that never have done anything. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to get. It's like the accomplishments don't matter. I mean, look at all the stuff I've done in video games. Dude, I've won tournaments when I think I'm going to die. Who has done more combo and tech-wise in the history of all these fighting games than me? I can't even tell you. I don't fucking know. What I do know, the video game community tries to hide it. You see people have fake... I've seen so many people try to say that they've had conversations with me that they don't even exist. Like, this never happened. Look at they delete posts of me. It just is absolutely insane the amount of coping mechanism and that... God, look at that one dude. Dude's like fucking 40 years old. Hell, I don't know how old some of these other guys are. Some of these guys are probably 40 in their 40s too. They're older than fucking me, dude. You know what I mean? And it's just like, you guys are in your 40s and you are still dedicated to hating someone who was beating you as a kid. Don't you think you'd actually probably just want to use some of your time to actually get better at the game? Instead of having hate discords dedicated to me? So again, it's like really... The individual matters less than the accomplishments now. Accomplishments don't really matter. I mean, I don't know the whole infiltration story, but look at a guy like Infiltration, right? Again, I take this with a grain of salt because I've only skimmed the situation. He had that whole thing with his wife, and apparently his wife's hands were bruised, and like, oh, but then it was kind of like, it was shady, and hey, I believe that because do you motherfuckers really think all girls are innocent, dude? Come on, right? So, and man, there's just such a insane hate campaign to this guy all the time. Like his accomplishments don't matter because his rep is so bad. And how much of it is true and how much of it isn't true, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't almost matter because he has such a stigma and they want it to be true. They don't want, the community doesn't want a lot of these people to be good. You know what I mean? The accomplishments don't really matter, Look at guys like James Chen and Ultra David, all these fake motherfuckers, dude. James Chen, Ultra David, dude. I told the story, man. I still have messages, they're saved. Did I hack James Chen's account? I met him when I was a kid multiple times. I met him, last I saw him was so many years ago. And I remember he was messing with me, how on the desk of marble, all this kind of stuff, which is almost insulting because, again, I know people take this the wrong way. Listen, Desk is just an execution guy to me, okay? I know people are going to take that the wrong way. He's probably the best execution guy of all time, potentially, but I'm not afraid of anyone creatively. All the shit that has ever happened in fucking video games, look, dude, come on, what have these guys done compared to me? But the point is, I'll take it as a compliment. It came from a good place, right? And James Chen actually introduced me to Ultra David. He's like, whoa, you did all these combos? Like, I didn't think that would be you. And then... You know what these guys do? These guys don't say a single word when people lie about me while I'm been in the hospital. These are fake social justice warriors, dude. You know what I mean? But look at, man, these guys are always talking shit about Infiltration. I remember he had that one dude, oh my God. It was so... Me and my friends legitimately started laughing at it, dude. There was a transgender person they had on stream one time. And, you know, maybe they're a nice person, whatever, but... And someone had commented that they were black and transgender. So it was the most brave thing possible. And I literally started crying. I laughed so hard. Me and my friends, we were just laughing. Someone being transgender and African American, black, whatever you want to say, is the most brave thing possible. Did you see how mentally ill that is? Do you know any people that, like, in terrible situations in South America, in Russia, wherever it might be, the corruption, all this kind of stuff? Do you guys know what's going on in the world? And someone being transgender and black is the most brave thing possible. You know what I think? You know what I think more than just being transgender and black? What about a black person that doesn't want to be involved in drugs and has drugs and violence all fucking around them, dude? You know, why are you glorifying... And again, this isn't something that just being transgender automatically means that. Because, of course, I have other transgender friends. You know what I mean? Hey, that one girl I talked to you about before, dude. And I just called her a girl, okay? I didn't call her a guy, motherfucker. Stop waving your fucking flag. I don't need to wave a fucking pride flag to show I don't hate gay people. I'm not a fucking Looney Tune, dude. You know what I mean? Hey, I've told that girl multiple times, dude, Jesus Christ, I can't fucking tell. Neither can my penis, dude. You know what I mean? I don't care. I guess that probably sounds like I'm objectifying transgender people now. It's not what I mean, though. But the point is, you know, someone actually should be doing something. There should be an accomplishment for you to be empathetic towards them, for them to have done something. Just saying someone is like, oh, they're transgender, so I can't, oh my God, they're so much more braver than someone who's been dying in a hospital, someone who's done this, blah, blah. Oh, you think you're a little tanuki? They're so brave. Like, what the? You think you're a fucking animal, dude. You have posted that you were sick against a person who has been dying in the hospital, dude. And you think you're a fucking animal. What is your fucking health problem compared to me? Oh, I'm not going to post it. Oh, I'm gay. Let's start a hate campaign. Let's say that Clayton hates gay people. Let's start a hate campaign and try to say that Clayton hates gay people to get people to now watch Clayton's videos and then post Clayton's videos as their own. This is glorifying fucking mental illness, dude. Do you see what I'm saying? It's so absolutely ridiculous. It's fucking pathetic, dude. So, yeah, you know, I guess that's kind of a... I want to talk about, you know, diversity. The video game community has always been diverse. The lie is that the video game community wants it to be diverse. Because they don't. They only want a specific group of people to be the ones that get accolades for anything. The video game, the fact that people say they want the community to be diverse, it's a fucking lie. No, they don't. They don't want the video game community to be diverse. And there's no fucking proof of that either. I always talk about things like precedent. It's like, if you're going to tell me something, can you show me a precedent that correlates with what you're saying? Because it doesn't exist. I can show you so many different things that prove what you're saying is wrong. And often these main social justice warriors are the biggest culprits of this bullshit. Anyway, keeping my channel active, wise, that kind of stuff. If you like these videos, like, sub, comment, whatever, blah, 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 blah.